We'll bring the microphone a little bit closer.
You know what?
Yes.
I think that this would be a perfect time to sample your soup.
All right. Here you go.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Hang on. Let me do normal stream camera things for a second.
This looks like it came from Alaska.
Today, obviously, as you can tell, I'm not alone. I have Dad here with me today to celebrate
Hello.
Pufferbelly Days.
I'm tasting a snow cone.
And we're going to be doing something a little different than what I usually do for a stream. We are actually going to be running a steam locomotive over the Cajon. We're going to be running a steam locomotive, and we're going to see just how well I can actually get it over the grade. I've done it twice, but I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do it again. But today is a special day because we're celebrating steam locomotives and everything. And so I brought my dad here so that we could celebrate together. So, Dad, is there anything you would like to talk about on this stream about steam?
I miss it. I remember as a kid watching the steam engines come through town a long time ago. It was usually at night, so I didn't really get a good look at the smoke and steam. One of my fondest memories is when my family was going across the tracks, and just a few yards up the road was a huge steam engine. And it didn't look like it was running. I don't remember in my mind whether there was smoke coming from it or not, but it was there, and I thought it was awesome. And I always loved the smell and the sound and the whistle of the steam engine here in Boone.
There's a cool picture, the restored Big Boy. That was awesome. I've never seen that picture before.
Steam engines and the railroad was at one time the lifeblood of this country. But with the age of modern diesels and diesel trucks and truck traffic, sadly the proliferation of such a marvelous concept slowly passed into prosperity. And now we only have a few reminders of how massive, how beautiful, how extreme steam engines were. And when the Big Boy came to visit here in Boone, a spectacular moment of actually seeing the largest steam engine ever built in the United States a few feet away.
It actually, recently, the Big Boy won the award for world's largest operating steam locomotive.
Now, the 4279 is a forward-facing cab.
Yep. It is a specially designed cab forward 4882. Built by the Southern Pacific to use up in the Cajon Pass area. Today we're pulling an excursion of Southern Pacific passenger cars with a Southern Pacific caboose in the rear. Astonishing what power these machines have.
in today's modern diesels aren't as powerful as a single big one.
No, that's true. A modern diesel locomotive, it takes 5 modern diesels to do the same amount of work that one big boy would have taken. One thing that I love on this model of the locomotive is that the dynamos are actually functional, and this smoke reflector is also functional. It's kind of interesting seeing a backwards facing steam locomotive, isn't it?
Well, you want to think of it backwards. I think the concept of the reverse dynamo is a much more colorful representation of the so-called backwards diesel.
So this model is supposed to represent what it would look like if the cab forward had been restored. There is only one cab forward left in existence over in, I believe, the California State Railroad Museum, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I wonder if modernization hadn't happened, would we still have steam engines in the 2000s?
Well, since they use nuclear energy to heat water into steam, nuclear engines never caught on.
What?
Well, one of the other engines that didn't catch on was a foot-powered engine where they had 1,000 people sitting on bicycle frames, pedaling as hard as they could to turn the wheels on the steam engine. As if that would ever really happen.
One of the weirdest steam locomotives I've ever seen was a 284, but it was built as a 440. And it had top wheels and bottom wheels. And the top wheels were supposed to spin one way to spin the bottom wheels the other direction. It was a very odd design.
One of the most beautiful sounds in the world.
It's the sound of a steam locomotive. Oh, I'm in the clear. I'm gonna crack that throttle wide open. I never showed Dad this. You can sit inside. And if I get rid of this, I can actually control it like the real deal. And down here is the whistle. have your Johnson bar right here.
What's our speed?
Almost 30 miles an hour. In fact, I can check.
Now this is going to take us over the Cajon Pass.
No, this is going to take us over the Cajon. So this is going to take us up a 2.5% grade, and we'll be going down to 3%. So we'll be going up one of the steepest grades that you can possibly go up. Right here, you can see our brake pressure. Here, I'll zoom in real quick. Our brake pressure, our main reservoir, our current boiler pressure, and how fast we're currently going says our speedo. Oh, wait, this is brake pressure here. Whoops, my bad. This is brake pressure. This is boiler pressure. Mistake. Error, I should say. So now we're adding water into the boiler. You can see the fireman is starting to add water into the boiler. We're going to jump really far ahead of this train because there's a railroad crossing up here that we can catch at. Right here. My fondest memory of a steam locomotive was many, many years ago. I don't know if you'll remember this, but do you remember when the steam locomotive came to Atlantic?
Of course I do. We went for a ride on it.
That was probably one of my all-time favorite moments.
I thought so too. You were so upset.
That we couldn't get into the cab of the locomotive.
Finally, on the way back, he was able to sit down and relax and enjoy the scenery as we traveled from Anita to Atlantic Island. At a top speed of slow, but it was an exciting slow. The sound of the engine, conversation of the people. I like the smell of coal burning coal.
We're really picking up speed now. What's our actual clock speed? 62 miles an hour.
Pretty fast for a steam engine.
Cab forwards were built for speed and strength. Here, we'll cut back on the throttle just a hair. We'll cut it down to about 70% throttle. One thing we can do, where is it? Right here. If I go all the way to the back, we can ride in the caboose.
Well, it's realistic. 12
Look.
minutes after, just after 6.
Let's see. It's 7:10 right now on the line. We have our clipboard for today's excursion. Now, what I love about the detail in this cab,
A little cook stove.
the little cook stove is completely detailed. So something I've learned is that white marker lights means special excursion or special priority. Oh, we're gonna watch the engine bend here a little bit.
Did I articulate?
Yep. Around this corner. It gently swings out, not by a lot, but it does a little bit. I would have done this run in the big boy, but the big boy is a little harder to handle. If someone can figure out how many cars I'm hauling, that'd be awesome. I'm just going to pull up chat here real quick. Oh, someone is watching the stream.
12 cars in a caboose.
Good catch there, Dad. All right, now let's go here and then into here. That's the injector going off. That's going to get a little loud, so we won't do that. I'm hauling at about 66 miles an hour. Our estimated arrival time is 9:01.
So we got 2 hours and some.
Yeah. Hey, Cameron! My friend Cameron's on the stream. Good to see you, buddy. Dad, for those of you who don't know, and for Dad who doesn't know, Cameron Murray is the friend who created that awesome Knight Rider game that I love playing. He's extremely talented. I'm very impressed with the way he made the game, and I'm planning on at some point later next week doing a new episode talking about the add-on of Goliath. He added Goliath into the game, so I can't wait to see that.
And what is Goliath?
Goliath is the massive truck that practically destroyed Kit. So we will hopefully get to see that coming up here in a very soon episode. Amazing to get to see Cameron on a stream like this. It's always fun. This is one of my favorite bridges on the map because of the spires. I would have done this in 844, but 844 requires a lot of patience and computer power, which is two things that I don't have. But if I go here real quick and show the map view, this is where we currently are. We still have to go all the way up this trackage here, race around this corner, and we reach this little yard here, this little siding. Then we keep going until we reach, where is it? I think this is Victorville here. Yep, Victorville. We reach Victorville. That's our halfway point. From here, all the way up to here. I think it's there. Or maybe it's a little far. Nope, it's right here. From Victorville to Summit is almost a complete 2% grade straight up. One thing I have to make sure I've done right here is get to yard 1. Because the game doesn't like to remember what track to set it to. So sometimes I have to do a little bit of fiddling with it. Alright, we're good. We should be good the rest of the way to San Bernardino.
So it runs the same speed and this actually takes several hours to play?
No, actually, the maps are shorter than what they're supposed to. So this run, which would supposedly take 2 hours to do, I'm doing at track speed, so it'll probably take an hour at most, if I'm good at this. Which I am no expert. I claim to be an expert on steam power, but I am not. So, what is your favorite thing about Pufferbelly Days parade? There's always a parade every year. What was your favorite part about today's parade?
Watching the old tractors go by with American flags attached to them.
My favorite one, hands down, every year, is the steam-powered tractor. Every year that steam-powered tractor shows up, and it's always amazing to see it. So I don't know how well you're going to see this, and I don't know how well the fans are going to be able to see this, but right down here is our altitude, or not our altitude, our level, basically, so it shows how level the track is. We are currently going up a 0.6 gradient right now. And that's going to continue to get steeper and steeper as we go up the grade. Most likely, when we hit the grade, we're going to be slugging it out. Now, I did try this run with a diesel assistant, but that was practically cheating. The diesel did most of the work. Pulling up the grade.
How do you figure that?
Well, because in the simulator, the lead unit is determined by how much power you have. So how much power you have on a train. So like if I was to put this cat forward with a backup diesel, the two of them would work together at whatever pace I set the steam locomotive. But because the diesel, if you put it at full throttle, you're going to get all the power that diesel has to offer. Going up the grades, I'm flying at ludicrous speeds. And it's just, it's no fun because there's no challenge to it. This little icon here in the corner, this is our balance. So you see it's kind of sitting in the middle here. And as we go around corners, the articulation bends it out so that the train is balanced. Now, there's 4 stages on this balance here. There's green, which is very good. There's yellow, which is worrisome. There's red, which is danger zone. And then there's a very thin line around it that's a black line, a black outline. That is the mega danger zone. Once you hit that, the train will tip over. This is our brake pressure here. There's 3 kinds of brakes on this train. There's the train brake, which takes care of the whole thing. The loco brake, which I can apply gradually. And if I click this button, it brings up this little hubcap icon on the caboose. And also on the front locomotive here, those are the hand brakes. So I can also go from, There's a grade crossing coming up. But yeah. So now we're going up a 0.3, but soon we're going to hit this steeper point. This little symbol in our, I want to say our level, shows the distance between signals. So this little icon here that's going down, that's a signal that's coming down. We can also check our destination via this. So we're going all the way over there. We can open the doors. We can turn on the windshield wipers if this engine had any. We can hit the emergency brake. I can activate the sand if I need to get up the grades. And all of this is camera angles. So there's the zoom out, zoom in, free roam, airplane mode. One thing we are going to do, as I'm currently spiraling to almost 79 miles an hour, is we're going to go over to this canyon and get a view of the engine going through the canyon. As I lower the reg a little bit. So now that I've lowered the throttle down, we should start slowing down a little bit. Because now we're only going on a 0.2, so having the throttle all the way up is stupid. Now we're going up a 0.5. I'm going to cut the throttle here for a little bit and let the engine just coast for a while. Here you're going to see the articulation really come into action a little bit. We're going to clip through a rock, which is totally normal. You can hear the click and clack of the railroad track there. This is now just soup. There's also the little posts that are mile markers, and I love these. They have two signs on them, one for passenger and one for freight trains, but the game really only registers realistic main line. So this is technically what this line would actually look like out in the real world. So we got to pick up the throttle here a little bit again. We'll probably make a stop in Barstow, or not Barstow. We left from Barstow. We'll probably make a stop in Victorville to let people rest and stretch their legs on this first leg. But see, originally we were going to get there at like 9:10. Now we're going to get there at 8:55, 8:58. So it's not going to take us very long to get there. If we don't stop, we'll get there. Another cool effect I love on this engine is as the fireman starts firing, the smoke turns black. Even though this is an oil-fired engine, it doesn't really register oil physics correctly. So the smoke will turn black as the engine is fired. And also, I didn't notice this, but if you look, the windows are open because I opened them in the engine. So if I lean over here and open this window, and then go back to the outside, now that window's open. So what else do you want to talk about, Dad? We've gotten until all the way to Barstow, which is in 59 miles.
I do comment at this moment. I'm just sitting here, picking my nose, watching the train.
I do thank you for joining this thing. Oh, and the injectors are going off.
What do the injectors do?
The injectors force water into this boiler in a fine mist. The reason they do that is because the boiler is highly pressurized. Hang on a second. Boop. The boiler is highly pressurized, so you can't force unpressurized water into a boiler. It just doesn't work. So what they do is they use steam to pressurize the water through the injector, the live injector, and force it into the boiler to bring the water level up in the boiler. We have about 19,000 gallons left, and about, if we calculate for oil, we have about 51, or not 51, 25.1 tons of coal, if it was registered as coal. But if we look at the back of the tender here, it should tell us. So the top number is how much oil we have, and the bottom number is how much water we can carry. I believe. Unless this is like weight of how heavy the tender is, loaded and unloaded. I never understood what this little walk platform was until I looked it up. That platform is for so that if need be, people can stand on the back and do maintenance on the locomotive. But we're cruising nicely now at 67.4 miles an hour and holding, which I don't do very often. I don't hold speed very well. But we'll be getting there in a decent hour. Now, the one thing that's going to probably screw us over in the long run is just outside of Victorville, there's a 40-mile-an-hour speed restriction, which we have to slow down for. Because there is an extremely tight curve just outside of Victorville. It's really tight. So slowing down for that's going to be a little bit of a nuisance in our adventures of powering this entire excursion by steam. But if we want, we can, once again, we can ride in the passenger cars too. One thing I can't understand about this model is that if we ride in the passenger cars, you can't see anybody, but there are clearly people in the train. But if you ride inside the car, they all disappear. Hang on. There's a nice running shot. Just making sure you're still awake. What? Oh, this. Wait. Somehow we're still keeping an extremely decent pace of almost 70 miles an hour. I don't know how I'm doing this.
The train is actually doing it. Sean is still sitting in the chair.
Oh, I didn't show you the little thing I did on the stream for you. If I turn off the chat, it says Gamer Man and Gamer Dad on the stream. So at this point, I'm going to start looking at chat, trying to see if there's any questions for me or Dad. And I will be more than willing to answer them. Dad will be more than willing to answer the questions, I hope. And yeah, pretty much, if you guys want to ask us any questions, go ahead and ask them. It'll be just fine for us to do so. But we should be arriving there. Our time about somewhere near 3 o'clock. I just have to be very careful because I got to watch out for that really tight corner coming around. Oop, there goes the flanges. For those who don't know, the flange on a wheel is 1 inch to 1/2 inch thick. They are very, very small pieces of metal on the wheel that hold the train on the track. Now, most people don't know that, but trains are only held on, if I can zoom into it, by this thin little line right here on the back of the wheel that makes them white walls. That is what holds them onto the track. It's very thin, but it's there. Now, I tried doing this same run in a 280 consolidation class with a very small tender, and
excuse me.
No, it's okay. I didn't make it past Victorville. I ran out of coal past Victorville. And I found out the reason I ran out of coal was because the AI kept trying to shovel coal going up the grade, and it really didn't help us. The other thing the AI tends to do going up the grade is it will add water while we're climbing. So as we're going up the grade, the AI will start to add water because we run low climbing up the grade because they're going to use so much steam. But doing that, you kill your boiler pressure going up the grade. And so that's what happens. That's when you start really slugging it out going up the grade. So it's a pain when the AI starts doing that. And we'll see that coming up here at some given point. But yeah, we're just cruising at 72 miles an hour. Our throttle is doing well. Our steam generation rate is 99,000 pounds a second. And we're using about... Is that 99? Yeah, it is. No, it's 99. No, it's 99,000. And we're using about 80,000 a second. So we're building more steam than we're using. Brake pipe pressure is right now 90 pounds, which is really good. Our main reservoir pressure is 100.7. Our small injector is closed, and we are currently using up our oil. And we have about 18,000 gallons of water left and about 55,000 tons of coal, or 55,000 pounds of coal, if there was. Our blower is on, and our damper is on, and we're coming into Barstow now. So I'm going to cut the throttle.
It's not reversed.
Thank you. Sorry, Victorville. And we're going to now start slowing down for this 60-mile-an-hour restriction here. So this is the halfway point. This is when things are going to get tricky on us. So we're just going to coast in. Because there's no point in trying to floor it through town. It's not worth it. You remember when we went to the College World Series and saw 844 again?
That was a wonderful day for you.
Oh, it was. They let me, Ed Dickinson and I had a wonderful conversation. Ed, for those who may not be fully informed, is the operator of the STEAM program for Union Pacific. He is the president of the STEAM program. All right, we'll raise the throttle to about 40%, but I gotta stay careful because we are entering Victorville. Dynamos are going off because I hit the brakes a little bit ago. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 8 mode, and we're going to, whoops, forgot that I got to use the arrow keys here. Oh, here comes that 40-mile-an-hour restriction. All right, so we're going to hop up on top of here. Zoom in enhance with our camera. All right, we are really slowing down. That's because I've accidentally put the reverser all the way up. That's why we were slowing down. I gotta slow down anyway, but yeah, I made a whoopsie. Now the reverser needs to be reset. There we go. 20% is usually the baseline where you want to keep the reverser while running on this game. You see, look, we dropped almost 100 pounds right there. Now here comes this mind-bending sharp curve. We're just going to cut the throttle here. Nope, I need it just a little bit up to build some pressure. This is this really tight corner. This corner is a pain when it comes to running on this route because it'll kill your speed and you're about to go up a huge percentage of a gradient. So I really, really, really need to slow down now. Stop! Handbrakes. Slow me down a little bit. There we go. All right. You'll really see the rear end of this engine swinging out here. Now we're going to go over this lovely bridge. Increase our throttle just a hair. Through the trees. It's almost realistic, isn't it?
Sure.
All right, now let's pick up some speed where we lost it. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. W is not the command I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one. I love the sun shining on the cars. It looks really nice. Wonder what these people are thinking as the steam engine runs by. Wait, I know what I can do. There's the highway.
I think it's pretty interesting how you can move around, go to the highway, the whole scene shifts with reality. Damn. Costume insurance company.
Uh-oh, I'm going to be speeding here in about 5 seconds. Brakes! I just got under the speed limit as it changed over. Yosh. Zooming back in. That's for the game to render. No, go ahead. Like I was saying earlier, this is where Steam is going to start becoming both our benefit and our decline. With 12 cars, this grade is not going to be our friend. I'm going to make someone out there upset because of the way I'm running this train. I just know it. We're actually going to turn off the headlights for now. And we're now going to just try and get up the grade. That is our goal, is to get up the grade. We're going to belt this out as much as we can. Here's where the stress comes in. We're hitting the 1% grade. This is where it gets steep very quickly. And it's only going to get steeper from here. See, now we're holding at 49.9 or 40.9 miles an hour. That is because this is getting steep already. I might even have to increase the reverser at some point just so we can keep going. But increasing the reverser also means that we're going to lose on steam. So I'm only increasing it by an increment of 6. Because we just need that little extra kick to get up this grade. Because it is now a 1.6% gradient, and we're hauling 12 cars fully loaded. You know, so this is getting heavy. Yep, see, there goes our steam pressure. That is going to tank at this point. Our steam, we can't help the steam pressure at all. That steam pressure is going to tank regardless of what we do. Hey! We started to speed. Come on. I've done this 1,000 times. Not really. I've done it maybe 3 or 4. But I know for sure I can get up the grade. You may be asking, why am I leaning out the window? I like leaning out the window, plus the frame rate doesn't try and kill me. So we might be going up this grade at 44 miles an hour the whole way. So we're gonna be slow. We are going to be slow on this one. To the one other person who's watching the stream, because I actually have to watch the stream on my phone in order to read chat, thank you for joining me. And that person just left. I go to thank them, and they leave. It's all right. I can understand this is a little boring. But I've always wanted to make a video on Train Simulator. I couldn't. So now I get to stream it. So we're going up to inform Dad. We are going up a 1.5% grade.
Mm-hmm.
That is very steep. And for hauling 12 cars, we're pretty much locked in at the 44 mile an hour mark. We are not really going to be able to get any more speed.
That's because of the wheels slipping?
No, it's just because the wheels aren't slipping. I'd get a notification letting me know. I think it's just the weight and the distance that we're traveling. But this is a lot faster than I've ever gone up the grade before. The last time I tried going up the grade with this train, we were slugging it out at like 30 miles an hour. Absolutely. You don't have to stay here for the stream. You can go and do your own thing.
Thank you for listening. Joining you.
Oh, absolutely. It was a blast having you. Absolutely was a blast. Thanks for joining. It was awesome. If you guys want to go check out more videos made by my dad, I will try to link them in the description after the stream. And now I'm going to start moving, so I'm going to be out of frame for a little bit. I'm going to move stuff back to the original setup, so bear with me. All right, I think that is good. So now it's back to me. I'm very glad that Dad joined. It was amazing. I cannot currently go in and change the banner. I can't go and do that right now. So we're kind of stuck with the banner of Gamer Man and Gamer Dad, which is okay, which is fine. But we are pretty much almost done with this run. We just got to get over the grade, and then it's all downhill from here. Literally, it's all downhill. All we have to do is manage it. We just have to manage it, and we can get going. You know what I just realized? I can listen to the stream through my headphones, just to make sure the audio is working. So yeah, there is a distinct lag. There's distinct lag in the stream, which is okay. But so far, we're doing 46.9 miles an hour. This is the fastest on a single Steam run I've ever done going up this grade. Just Steam by itself, you know, I've never done this well. So I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of this locomotive. You can turn that down because it sounds like it's clipping. But we're doing it. We're going up the grade. Now we're picking up some serious speed. Now we're picking up some real speed. We're going to hit that grade. We're going to start slowing down again. Flanges are squealing a little bit. That's okay. All right, so the audio on the whistle and the horn obviously aren't going to sound the best. I do apologize for that. The reason I was recording it without my headphones on this time is because obviously Dad was joining us. But now because we are streaming, I can't go and plug my headset in. I don't want to break something or accidentally pause the recording or stream or whatever. Yeah, no, I can't even listen to myself while I'm streaming. I'd love to. I'd love to listen to myself stream, but just my own voice. We're going up a 1.2 now. I believe, if I'm not wrong, yeah, we're hitting that middle ridge right there. So Summit's like coming up here. Summit is very close. It's only right here. So we're getting there. We are getting there. We're just going to be slowing down a little bit due to the grade. We still have our train in full tow. And we're good. We are doing good. I'm actually going to briefly step away and keep an eye on the stream via my phone. So if stuff is going wrong, I'm not going to see it till late. Ow. Just hit the wall. All right. We dead yet? No, we're not. We're still going strong. I thought we would have been goners by now. And by goners, I mean I thought we would have been like crawling at this point. No, we're rolling with it. We're rolling, and I'm really, really surprised. Like, I'm honestly chuffed with that. Like, we've only got 34 miles left, and it's practically all downhill from here. We could just let it roll all the way down. But that's a bit dangerous. You know what? We are going to turn the headlights back on for now. So we're coming into this 75 mile an hour marker. I think that's because we hit like level track for a bit. I'm not gonna try to force the speed up or anything. I think that'd be a little risky. It's a risk I'm not willing to take. And some people can sit here and do this for hours. I really don't have the time to do that. So in a little bit, either I'm going to call it quits on the stream, or we'll get there. One of the two. I just realized I actually have to slow down because I'm picking up so much speed. I'm actually picking up too much speed. I want to do this realistically, but I don't want to... I want to get this done, but I don't want to get it done in a cheaty sort of way. There we go. We're good. Full speed. Now, there's people who will play this game where they throw the throttle wide open and just toggle the reverser. And that is a way of running it, but it's a poor way of running it. You want to balance the throttle and reverser together in order to get the most amount of power out of a steam locomotive. The more power you get, the more strength you'll have, and more ability to control the locomotive will be given to you. So, for example, I was losing boiler pressure. We're going kind of on a flat plane, so I'm able to slow down. I don't have to force the engine into a position of overpower. Now what I'm doing here is prepping for this. So I'm slowing the train down, but I'm keeping the throttle up to create friction so that the locomotive slows down faster. Yep, see now you're hearing that chuff loop change? It's when we take the brakes off, we let the engine reaccelerate. Is that the rear light on? I don't think he has a rear headlight. To the second person watching the stream, thank you for joining. For those of you who are joining late, this is a Pufferbelly Days special here for me and my family. In the town that I live in, it is Pufferbelly Days, and it is a day of celebrating steam and steam locomotives. It is not a steampunk convention. It's just a holiday to celebrate steam locomotives and their history. Now, to the Americans who are watching this stream, you may be wondering, why are you running on the wrong side of the track? Technically, in the real world, I'm running on the correct side of the track because it's the east to west main. So if I was to run the direction I'm going, I'm on the right side. Not all systems in the United States are left, right, and left. There are some instances where it is backwards. Why am I speeding? Why did the speed limit all of a sudden change on me? Yeah, no, keep the throttle down. Excuse me. I don't even know for how long we've been going for. Wow, we really have been going for over an hour now. Crazy! It's also unbelievable how much fuel we're burning through. You know what I mean? It's really unbelievable. It's 3:22. We're gonna have to cut this. When we reach Summit, I'm gonna have to stop it there. It is getting late. Summit is just up ahead. When we reach the summit, I'll have to end the stream because me and Dad have places we want to go. I was originally going to go all the way to Barstow or San Bernardino, but we'll have to pick that up another time because I do not right now have the time to get all the way to San Bernardino. I would have stopped in Victorville, but I thought getting all the way to the summit would have been better. Okay, we really need to We really need all the steam to the pistons. This is also a simple articulated, which means direct steam is going to all 4 pistons on the locomotive. If it was a compound articulated, these pistons would use direct steam, and the second larger pistons would use second-hand steam. This isn't boring, it's very tiring because of the hypnotic wheel movement and the hypnotic chuffing sound. I just realized I can stream Kerbal Space Program this way. Seriously, I have nothing to talk about, so if you guys want to bring up a subject or something, let me know. Steam is a beautiful machine. Anything powered by steam, it feels alive. And I'm pretty sure someone's going to argue with me that it is. Or isn't. But to me, steam is alive. Always has been alive. How far away from Summit now? Oh, it's in our view. Summit is in our view. We will have to stop at Summit for this stream. The reason we're stopping at Summit is because I want to go do stuff with my father today to celebrate Pufferbelly Days. But I just wanted to do this quick little stream, basically like, hey, you know, it's Pufferbelly Days. I wanted to make a video about it. But my uploading isn't really a possibility, so I was like, you know what, we'll just stream instead. FanRailer might be pleased with what I'm doing. FanRailer is a guy who he does this for fun. He will sit and he will record these videos and cut them down just to make them realistic. It's so much fun to watch his videos. I will watch them to fall asleep. They're that hypnotic. They're so beautiful, you know. So, Fan Railer, if you ever randomly find my content, love your stuff, man. All right, here we go. We're going to start slowing down. Actually, I'm just going to straight up cut throttle. I'm not using the air brakes because they take way too long to set. I guess I could use them a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is save this run. And that's that. We technically did it. I said we would conquer the Cajon in the stream. That's what I said I would do anyway. I didn't specifically say how. However, I do want to straight up hang on, I need to fix this as I'm sitting here. Thank everybody for coming and joining the stream. It was awesome. Glad to have you here. Cameron Murray, I am honestly thankful y'all showed up for this. I'm so thankful he showed up for this because he's a wonderful friend. He's super smart. He's talented. You got to go check out his Knight Rider game on Roadblocks. If you haven't checked it out, go check out the videos I've made or he's made on them. It's a beautiful game. But I want to thank you all for joining me on this stream, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!